Welcome to Veterans Claims Compass, helping veterans navigate the VA disability claims process with clarity and confidence. If you've been researching VA disability claims, you've probably heard the term Nexus letter. Some veterans say you absolutely need one. Others say they're a waste of money. So, who's right? The truth is, it depends on your claim. Today, I'll explain what a Nexus letter is, when you might need one, and when you probably don't. Let's start with the basics. A nexus is simply the medical connection between your current disability and your military service. If you've watched my previous video on service connection, you'll remember that the VA generally looks for three things: a current diagnosed disability, evidence that something happened during your military service, and a medical link connecting the two. That medical link is called a nexus. A nexus letter is a written medical opinion from a qualified healthcare provider explaining why they believe your current condition is related to your military service. A strong nexus letter doesn't simply state an opinion. It explains the medical reasoning and discusses the evidence supporting that conclusion. Now, here's something that surprises many veterans. Not every VA disability claim requires a nexus letter. If your service treatment records clearly document an injury, you have continuous medical treatment, and your current diagnosis is well established, the VA examiner may provide the medical opinion needed to grant your claim. In many straightforward cases, a separate nexus letter simply isn't necessary. However, there are situations where a nexus letter can be extremely valuable. For example, maybe your condition wasn't diagnosed until years after leaving the military. Perhaps you're filing for sleep apnea, migraines, or another condition that developed over time. Or maybe you're claiming a condition secondary to another service-connected disability, such as neuropathy secondary to diabetes or depression secondary to chronic pain. In cases like these, a well-supported medical opinion may help explain the connection. Unfortunately, not all nexus letters are created equal. Some are only a few sentences long and simply state a conclusion without explaining why the provider reached that opinion. Those letters often carry less weight than a detailed opinion supported by medical reasoning. A strong nexus letter should identify the condition being discussed, explain that the provider reviewed the relevant records, describe the medical rationale, and clearly explain why the condition is connected to military service. You'll often see providers use the phrase, "it is at least as likely as not." That means there's at least a 50% probability that the condition is related to military service. It's also important to remember that a nexus letter does not guarantee approval. The VA reviews all of the evidence together, including your military records, medical records, C&P examination, lay statements, and any other supporting documentation. A nexus letter is just one piece of the overall picture. So, how do you know if you might benefit from one? Ask yourself these questions. Was your condition diagnosed years after leaving the military? Has the VA denied your claim because they found no connection to your service? Or are you filing for a secondary condition? If the answer is yes, it may be worth discussing a nexus opinion with a qualified medical provider. The most important thing to remember is this: don't assume you automatically need a nexus letter, and don't assume you don't. Every claim is different. Understanding your evidence is the key to knowing whether a nexus opinion could strengthen your case. Join me here at Veterans Claims Compass, where we'll break down the VA claims process one step at a time so you can move forward with confidence.